Hello again, gamers. Welcome back to the Board Game Captain. I'm the Board Game Captain, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the Blinks game system. Now, before we get started, I want to draw attention to the fact that I am wearing one of my merch shirts. This is the I Drink and I Game, It's What I Do shirt. If you want to get yourself some cool gamer gear, this shirt or others, as well as mugs and a sticker, they are all available on my Teespring store. There's a link to it in the description down below. And if you are in a position to and would like to help out the channel, you can join my Patreon. There you can get access to early release videos, behind the scenes videos, and possibly even the ability to request review and tutorial videos to your favorite classic games. Also a link in the description down below. Now, I want to thank Move 38, the company that makes Blinks, for sending me a copy of the Blinks core set and the Blinks expansion set to play and do some content with. Thank you guys very much. So now these come in boxes like this, and they the Blinks are inside. I'm going to show you how this is packed. And it says Playtime Infinite, 1+ players, and ages 14 and up. And that's because each of these packs contains 6 games each. They're packed in here like so. It's got a slipcase and then a regular box. They're actually rather smartly packed. It comes with a little Blinks sticker when you get this, a rule book to all the games that are in this particular pack, a sushi roll, which I'm going to show you how this works in a second because this is awesome, just a little cardboard thing to make sure everything stays in place, and then all of the Blinks. So here you can see there are 6 Blinks here. Now each of these Blinks has a game on it, and then each of these Blinks also would be a component for the other Blinks games as well. So you pull them out like so. They're just these little plastic hexagons. On the back they have the game art of the particular game that we have here. So in this case this is Wham. And it has a button inside of the front here that just looks plain white. And on the back you have the game art. So there it says Wham. It also has magnets around the sides here because they do link together. And actually these magnets, which are really cool, are used for transferring information. You can transfer electrical information through them. So the way it generally works is if you have a bunch of Blinks out, and again I've got 12 of them because I've got 2 packs here, but if you have a bunch of Blinks out, you can use the Blinks to teach the other Blinks their game. So you turn on all the Blinks, and then you hold down the Blink that you want to play. So let's say I pull out Berry. I would hold down the button on Berry for a while until I see the little circling blue light, which means that it's in training mode. Then you attach it to the other Blinks in formation, and it's going to teach all the rest of those Blinks how to play Berry. At which point they are now all game pieces for the game of Berry, and then I will use them to play a game of Berry, and that's how that works. And then if I want to retrain them, let's say I want to play Mortals, I'll pull off Mortals, and I'll hold it down for a good 6 seconds till it starts doing the training mode little light up signature, and then I will attach it to the group, and it's going to teach them all how to play Mortals, and then I'll play Mortals. Now, one of the really cool things I like about this a lot is this. This is a really amazingly awesome idea, is this sushi roll, they call it. It's a way to carry them all portably, much more easier than the box. The box, small though it is, this is even smaller. So what you do is it's magnetic and it easily wraps around, and it works with the magnets that are inside of here, and each sushi roll will easily hold 6 and turn it into this tiny little hexagonal form that you can easily stick in a pocket or a purse or something like that. And you know, with all 12 of these, I can turn these into 2 tiny little, because each box comes with one of these sushi rolls. Turn them into tiny little rolls, tiny little sushi rolls, for lack of a better term. That's what they call them, so I should stick with that. So then the actual Blinks games, which I'm not going to be reviewing here, because right now I'm just going to be reviewing the actual system. I'm planning on doing some individual review and tutorials of some of the individual games, if not all of the individual games over time. But the games, I want to talk a little bit about them. They run the gamut. You've got some turn-based, like abstract strategy games, things like Fracture or Berry, or even Puzzle 101. These work really well for these turn-based abstract games, but also something that is really interesting is you've got a lot of games in here that are real-time games, but because they have an electronic component, because I mean the whole game is basically an electronic component, They're abstract, real-time games that are actually done right. Because a lot of times, old school real-time games with sand timers, unless there's someone who has to watch the sand timer, there'll be that point where you're like, oh crap, when did the sand timer run out? I didn't even notice. But with these, I mean, they light up and they can make very, very bright visual notifications of the fact that time has run out or something has changed because of it being real time. And there's a lot of really cool and interesting real time games in here, like Mortals or like Wham, or one of my personal favorites, Astro, which is a really cool one where you are spaceships mining asteroids for materials. That one is really cool, and it's real time, and it's, in my opinion, real time done well, which is kind of rare in the board gaming world. You really do need a mechanical or electronic component to do real time well in board games, and that's one of the areas that I think this system excels at. So now, right now, they're about to be doing a Kickstarter for a new expansion set. This will be, I believe, their third 6-game expansion set. And it's going to be called the Epic Adventure Expansion. It is going to be coming to Kickstarter on October 20th. And there's going to be some discounted versions of Blinks, the whole system that you can get over on this Kickstarter. So one thing is they're going to have a group of 9 Blinks that they're going to be calling the Blinks Game System. It's going to be the 9 best games, from their opinion, from both the core and expansion sets, which I have here, as well as 2 newer games, Dark Ball and Heist, added in. And those 9 games are going to be selling for $119 on the Kickstarter. It may seem expensive until you realize it's 9 games. And having 9 Blinks is a good thing, because a lot of these, if you just got the pack of 6, there's a lot where they get more interesting when you add in 3 or even 6 more Blinks to play them with more pieces, because a lot of these games allow you to change the difficulty by adding or removing the number of Blinks that you are playing with. So that is really cool. In addition, the Epic Adventure expansion, which is 6 all new games, is going to be being sold for $79, and the bundle, which is a total of 15 games, they're going to be selling for $198. Now, normally the core set and the expansion, which is 12 games, goes for about $200. So this is actually quite a bit of a discount for 15 games for $200. Again, it seems expensive, and it is, but until you realize that's 15 games, and also 15 Blinks that you can play these games with. So that's actually a pretty decent discount. Okay, so I've been talking positively about the system. I want to talk a little bit about some of the potential of what this system offers. So they, in addition to the published games, they sell a developer kit and a larger developer kit that comes with even more blank Blinks that allow you to use a program on the computer to design games for the Blink system. Both of the developer kits do this. Now, in both cases, if you run out of blank Blinks, you can also, if you got some games in a group that maybe you didn't like I'm holding up Astro here. Let's say you were not a fan of Astro. I like Astro, but let's say you really didn't like it. Any of these, they have a area in the back after you take the battery out where you can actually reprogram them. So if you're not a fan of Astro and you don't see yourself ever playing Astro again, you can design one of your own games and reprogram it, put a little masking tape over the game art and write in the name of what your game is. The blank ones come with little lines that you can write on so that you can specifically say what games they are. And they have a thriving developer community where people will download each other's works in progress and test them out and give feedback to other designers and tell them, what they think of each other's games. And so that is a really cool thing. And some of the best of those games have been being published by Move 38. The last expansion set they set out was 6 games that were all community designed games, and there seemed to be a lot of really positive feedback about those games. I think that is definitely the right way to go, is to focus in on the community. They've been saying that the developer kits, they've sold so many that they estimate that 1 in 5, that's 20% of the people who buy a box of Blinks, also get a developer kit at some point. And that is really awesome. That is one of my favorite parts about this system, is being able to design your own games and being able to try out other people's homebrew games. That is really great. Now, what would I like to see from Blinks in the future? One, I would really like to see them selling individual games, because once you have enough to play, which I think what you want is you want about 12 Blinks, at least 12. And the reason is a lot of the games play really most challengingly at about 12, or in some cases like with Fracture, you must have 12 Blinks to play Fracture. You can't play Fracture without 12. So I think 12 is where you want to be. But once you have 12, you maybe don't want to buy 6 all at once again. So I'd really love to see maybe single games priced at around like 20 bucks a game. That would be enough of a price increase, I think, maybe to sell them one at a time. But I think that would be really great, because like, what if you just want to get one particular game and you're not interested in a lot of the other games in a set? I would really like to see that. Another thing I would like to see is more advanced games and more strategy games. So there definitely seems to be the potential for more advanced games here based on the kind of mechanics I've seen in the different games. But a lot of these games are on the lighter side. There are some that are just on the lightest end of medium weight, in my opinion, but I would really like to see some heavier medium weights, and maybe even some heavyweights. I think it could be really interesting to see someone see what they can do. Now, I don't know if the memory in these Blinks can handle that, but I would love to see someone really push the hardware and really push what these are capable of, and see how advanced we could get with some like war strategy games using the Blinks. I would really love to see that. So there you go. Now, I've struggled with my rating on the system, and a big part of my rating on this system is definitely about the potential of what you have here, along with just the coolness factor. These things look amazing on the tabletop. I love to play these with the lights off, so that the lights really just light up the room and look really fantastic. Also, a lot of it is based on how awesome this whole community aspect is, which really blows my mind. I do not have a copy of one of the developer kits, but I would love to get one in the future and try out developing one of my own games. It's something that has me super excited to do. Like, because I like designing games, and I design my own board games sometimes, but I would love to design ones for this system, for this existing electronic board game system, and that is awesome. So with all of that in mind, I've decided to give the Blink system 8 out of 10. I think this is really awesome. I think they have created something that could really keep advancing by leaps and bounds in the future. They've created an amazing technology here to use as a system where each time you get one more Blink, you get a whole new game where you already have all the components if you've bought a bunch of the Blinks before, and you can just take that game and try it out with all your components you already have at home. And you can also design your own games and try out other people's designs. And all of that seems really freaking awesome to me. I've also been quite enjoying the Blinks themselves, the games. I'm planning on doing some of the individual review and tutorials of the games in the future. But I do want to say that for the system, 8 out of 10 stars, really awesome. I'm thoroughly excited to see what else is coming in the future for Blinks. But let's get a second opinion. Lynn, how many stars out of 10 would you give to the Blink system?
7.
So Lynn is also quite positive with a 7 out of 10 stars, a little bit less than me at my 8, but she also said she's quite happy with the functionality of a lot of the games, and she has her favorites as I have my favorites, and she's also excited to see what comes in the future, though she agreed with me that she would like to see some heavier games, and that was one of the things that was holding her back from being more emphatic on the system, though she did quite like it and does have games that she does really enjoy to play on this system. Now, I am planning to do review and tutorials, like I said. I want to know from you guys, what are you interested in seeing review and tutorial videos on from the Blink system? Again, I have all the games in the Blink's core system and all the games in the Blink's expansion set. And as long as people watch the videos, I'm going to keep doing reviews and keep bringing them out over the next few months of the various games. I'm already planning to do some of our favorites here, and so you know the ones that I'm planning to already do review and tutorials on are Berry, Fracture, and also a Puzzle 101, which are between Lynn and me, our 3 favorites from both sets. So those are definitely getting done. But let me know in the comments down below, which other games are you interested in seeing me do review and tutorials on. And if you enjoyed this video about this really interesting product, Be sure to give it a like, share it on all forms of social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Captain. That's Captain spelled with a K on YouTube. And until next time, game on.